Welcome to our accounting night, hosted by Maine Business and the Career Center. I'm your MC, Dave. I can't say just how excited I am to have all of you folks here in person, because boy, this virtual stuff the last year and a half has been awful. So it's really nice to be able to get you all to meet each other and interact with each other live. It's absolutely great. The primary purpose of this event, honestly, is all about getting you folks the opportunity to chat. So I'm just going to jump right in. I'm going to introduce our executive dean, Dr. Faye Gilbert, to have some introductory words. Bring it, and I'll move the mic over for you. Take it away, Dean.
Thank you so much. My job is to welcome briefly, so I would say welcome and thank you very much for coming to visit the University of Maine. I know that you know that we're accredited by AACSB, which places us among the top quality of business programs in the world. I know you know that our accounting students pass the CPA exam among the highest rates in New England. So I know you're about to meet some of the best candidates on the market, and I appreciate you including us in Firm Night to talk with these students. And for you students, thank you for having the courage to be here, for showing up and knowing that connecting with other people and talking and letting them know who you are is a key to taking the next step in your careers. You're at the University of Maine. We are UMaine, and you are ready for this step and to meet these people and to show them that you are among the best on the planet at what you do. It may not feel that way sitting there right now, but you are. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for interacting and getting to know some of the best firms that you could possibly hope to meet and hearing their views of what you're looking at for your next steps in the career. And thank you for being who you are. You're among the best. Thank you.
She is good. Wow. So next on the list is Kate Axelson Foster. She is the director of our Career Center, and she has a couple of words to say as well.
Thank you all. I will be very brief, but we very much appreciate you all coming here to take time to talk with all of our students and us, and it's wonderful to see familiar faces. And then we really are excited for all of you to jump into this process with both feet. I want to thank Taylor Ashley and Melanie Brooks for everything that they have done behind the scenes to make this happen. And Kathy Hill from the Buchanan Alumni House has also been a crucial person in the planning. So if anybody has any questions throughout this process, please lean on us at the Career Center. We are a resource to help you in this exciting time in your lives, to talk about your application process, your searching, your decision making, and we encourage you to use our services. So call us, email us, come see us on the 3rd floor of the Memorial Union, and have fun tonight. Be yourselves, and we know you're going to be successful. So good luck.
All right, so we are officially 13 minutes ahead of schedule, so fantastic. So to begin with, can I just have, I guess if we can start with Tim, down on the end, everyone just stand up, introduce yourself, what firm you're from, and if you brought a colleague with you, kind of wave and point and have them wave and point as well, and then we will get to the questions. So take it away.
Okay. My name is Tim Gill. I'm a partner with Runyon, Kirsty, and Willette. We're based out of South Portland, and right now, tonight, I'm attending by myself. So I don't know what else. We'll share more later, I guess, I think.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Heather Perot. I work for the state of Maine. I'm actually here in 2 roles for the state, and I'm also representing the Maine Society of CPAs. I sit on the board, and I'm helping them out with that for this evening. I look forward to speaking with you.
My name is Joel Remersma. I am from Winfleet out of the South Portland office, and I'm here with my colleague Ralph Hendricks. Stand and wave, Ralph. And that's that.
My name is Emily Boyd. I'm here representing Markham. I graduated from USM, not from UMaine, but I'm glad to be here at a University of Maine school.
Hi everyone, I have a little bit of a problem with this logo branded mask, but my name is Laura Everett. I'm a partner at Albin, Randall & Bennett in the Old Port, and I am here with Cheryl Sommer. She's right back there, and we really look forward to meeting everybody tonight, so stop by our table.
My name is Nick. I work at One River CPAs. I graduated from UMaine, and I work in Bath, and I look forward to meeting you all.
Hello, I'm Ryan King. I'm a tax manager from Barry Dunn in our Bangor office. I'm here with Bethany, who's way in the back there. UMaine, class of 2014. Glad to be here.
Hi, I'm Mike Nelson. I'm with Purdy Powers, and I'm here with Jane Bob, and she's out back there, and look forward to talking with you.
Hi folks, my name is Connor Smart and I'm here with Baker Newman Noyes out of our Portland office. I'm here with Kayla Roy, right back there. And let me just say it is a pleasure and honor to meet all of you and to see you in person. This is awesome and I'm excited.
Cool, thank you. And I just saw Dr. Kono has snuck into the back, so for those of you on the panel, he is also one of our faculty members, Associate Professor of Accounting. Thanks for coming, Henry. So since the microphone is over on this side, I guess we may as well start over here. And just for the folks out in the audience, I gave them all questions because, as I said, the value is honestly in you're getting a chance to meet folks. And so while we can have some information transfer via panel, we want to try to make sure we maximize the time that you have to interact with them on an individual level. So they all have questions that I asked them to prepare, or Taylor did, and to within like a 3-minute window or so. So we'll go ahead and go with Connor, and let's see, where do I have my Connor question? Where is, oh, there it is. Oh, perfect, right up on top. So Connor, you are in tax, right? I hope you're in tax. And so tax being one of the two big things that people do within the public accounting world, what do you like about being on the tax side of business?
Sure, so obviously when you're a student, it's so hard to pick, right? Tax or audit, those are the choices. And I started in tax and fell in love with it. I love the puzzle solving nature of it. I like that it's very intellectually challenging and engaging. To me, it almost always felt like game playing because I really always enjoy kind of puzzle solving and that kind of nature of it. It's also really nice because it gives you a basis in what's going on in your local government, your state and federal government, and even globally if you're into international tax issues. So you'll see stuff going on in the news and current events, and you kind of get an economic and tax policy insight into it. It's also really nice that you're able to assist and help your clients and engage with people on something that they can relate to and that makes a real difference in their lives. For a lot of our clients that are either businesses or individuals, or I actually work personally with a lot of charities and nonprofits, being able to do this stuff correctly in compliance with all the rules and regulations takes a huge burden off of them and can really assist them do what they do best. And so to me, it's always been very rewarding to develop those relationships with clients and to be doing something along the way that I find always challenging and educational and improving myself along the way.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. That was a lovely prepared answer. So thank you very much, Connor. So we've got Mike next from Purdy. So Purdy is one of the smaller firms, right, in the state of Maine and certainly on the panel. And that's a choice, right? Going to work for a small firm versus a medium firm versus a large global firm. So what is it about working for a small shop that you particularly like that you can share with the attendees when they're starting to think about what do I want to pursue or what kind of firm do I want to work for?
Sure. So I think something that appeals with the smaller client is, or a smaller accounting firm, is the fact that we have a wide variety of clients. And for example, we have clients in manufacturing, construction, nonprofits. We also do employee benefit plans and municipal audits. So the diverse client base allows me to gain a variety of knowledge in various industries rather than just specializing in one or two areas. In addition, the smaller size of Purdy Powers allowed me to get more exposure and audit different areas of the financial statements early on in my career. And as I progressed over the years, it allowed me to have more larger responsibilities and more roles in dealing with client management and the relationships that we've developed with the clients. And as for how smaller firms are differentiated with larger firms, I would point to the biggest difference as being culture. At Purdy Powers, we're not just a number. Everybody on the team is a valued member. It's a team-oriented focus where we work together to complete various projects and tasks. And to that point, I'll work with everybody in the audit department multiple times a year, and we're able to develop personal relationships. And I think it's the combination of working together and getting those bonds and relationships, and then the desire to succeed as a team. It's one of the things that makes working for a smaller firm enjoyable.
Perfect, thank you. And absolutely, coincidentally enough, Ryan King is our third person, and so he is over at, oh my God, this is terrible. Very done. Honestly, the two B firms. Sorry.
Hey, I was going to put you on the spot.
If I could see better, I would have been able to see what's on your mask. Okay. So you edit this out of the video. So Ryan, so conversely, right, you are one of the larger firms in Maine, right? That the two B firms are kind of the big of the firms in Maine. And that's a choice as well, right? That you decided to work for one of those firms. What draws you to working for that kind of firm, and what sets you, the way you see your firm, apart from the firms like Purdy, but then also the firms one size up?
Yeah, so I think the biggest draw for me at Barry Dunn is the breadth of our services. So we have the typical tax and audit practice groups, but we also have a business valuation team, we have wealth management, we have a tremendous consulting arm as well, who we have consultants really all over the country working on jobs in all 50 states. It's really unique because we can really offer our clients a wide range and connect them with experts in their industry and with whatever problem they have. But at the same time, the firm places a tremendous emphasis on making our voice count. For example, we're in the process right now of going through our 5-year vision plan. So the way we do this is we project where we want to be in 5 years. We want to accomplish X, Y, and Z. And for the first time ever, the firm is asking the employees to help in building what our vision is going to be in the future, which just gives us a sense of power and really makes us feel like what we're doing is important and heard. And just another example, we just went through a big rebranding. And it was up to the employees to choose the next logo and the colors and everything like that. So the investment that they place in us definitely doesn't fall on deaf ears, and I think it makes all of us work harder and appreciate kind of being a bigger firm, but also still having our voice heard.
Thank you. And then I guess we could even go, maybe, honestly I don't know if size relative to Purdy, but certainly working in Bath, right, is very different than working in Portland. And so Nick from One River, your office is in Bath, Maine, and again, that's the sort of choice that you make. Why did you decide to go to a firm that wasn't in one of the metropolises of Maine, Bangor or Portland?
Yeah, we actually have 3 offices. One is in Bath, and that's where I work, but we also have another in Augusta and Oakland, which is close to Waterville. I started in Oakland, I grew up in Waterville, and so it just seemed to be a good fit. And I moved down to the Bath office with another coworker, and we've slowly been growing that office. And I really love the Mid-Coast area, Popham and Reed, and Harpswell is beautiful. So, and I'm living in Brunswick. It's a short ride. Bath, and it's just been a great place. For me, I love going downtown. I just love the whole area, but I also really like the firm that I work for, and that's really the biggest reason why I live where I do, and I think they're always looking for input from us internally, and there's a lot of room for potential growth within the firm. There's also a lot of client contact. That's great if you like to work with clients. It's not so great if you don't. But I think if you really like to call your clients and develop relationships, it's a great place to be. We do offer audit and tax services, so you will get a lot of experience on both the audit and tax side. And that's really, it's not so much about where I live. A lot of people work from home, which is great, so there's a hybrid. I'm sure a lot of these firms have that type of offering. So even if, if you don't live in Bath or you don't live in Brunswick, you can work pretty much anywhere today. That's what's great about this profession. I think you'll find that this profession is great. I urge everyone to choose a firm that will allow them to grow and learn and everything else. So I think I'm excited for you all.
Thanks, and really just to clarify, so
Yeah.
you do both, so I'm sorry, so you folks do both tax and audit, right? You don't have to pick one or the other. In
No,
tax season, you do taxes?
Yeah, that's right. So you're going to do a little bit of everything, and whether you like it or not. I think I'm going to be honest, and I think that's a good thing, right? I went in thinking I wanted to help people with their personal finances, but so I do a lot more tax, and I'm always trying to find ways to maximize tax savings and meet whatever the client's needs are. But during the summer, I'm helping out with nonprofit audits, 990s, that type of stuff. And now I'm starting to focus on what do I want to do for my career. Do I want to stay on the tax side or the audit side, and then become a leader in one of those
Mike,
areas.
do you guys do both as well? So
We do.
you are both.
But you pick one or the other.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, you do both. So so your employees are either tax or audit, not both. Does anyone else or anyone else do your staff do both? Okay, so that is
Laura.
Alvin
Yeah.
and Whipfley, and this is terrible. This is awful. And Tim, who's at RKO. All right, so we've got a couple of firms, or three firms, that if you don't want to choose, you can do either until you become manager, and then you choose one or the other. Is that kind of the way it works, typically?
That's usually the role in our firm. Once you become a manager, you're usually going to be a tax or an audit manager.
Did you want to add more?
At ARB, you start out doing both audit and tax, so you can figure out in a variety of industries, so you can figure out what area you want to work in. But we'd like to see specialization after, about 2 years or so.
Okay, cool. Okay, thank you. So, Laura, you're on the audit side, right? And you've gone all the way up to principal on the audit side. And so as a counterpoint to what Connor shared earlier on the tax side, what is it that makes you excited about doing audit stuff that's kept you there your entire career?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, I started out doing both audit and tax, and even as a partner now, I still do some tax work for certain clients, but I chose to be more heavily on the A&A side. And when I talk about the A&A side, it's audit and attest work. So we're talking about reviews, compilations, agreed upon procedures. So it's a little bit bigger than just the kind of the term audit. And also a lot of consulting as you get really involved in the industries that you work in, and that specialization of audit or tax, you end up doing a lot of consulting work. So for me, I branched out more onto the A&A side, still do a little bit of tax work. And I think really what draws me so much to public accounting and keeps me here and keeps me really satisfied are my clients. And through the audit side, the A&A side, I felt like I really enjoyed going out to my clients, getting to know, maybe being there a week or two at a time, getting to know my client in and out. You're required to understand their internal controls, the procedures, the people. You're doing fraud questioning, you're doing that type of stuff, and you're getting to know people. And not only are you getting to know, the president of the credit union, you're getting to know the tellers on the teller line. And, that's been really important to me to build relationships. And I think in this world, being kind and building relationships is so important. And you never know who you're going to meet in the future or how that person's going to come back around to you. And so being on that ANA side, I felt really, not that you can't have relationships, client relationships, of course, on the tax side, but I really liked being boots on the ground on the ANA side. That was a big thing for me. And to also just add, there's a variety of firms here, there's a variety of size here, and we all are clearly representing a firm that we like. And it's really important to know that you're going to get great technical, experience at firms, and it's really about finding the culture that fits for you. And by being at an event tonight, by doing an internship, by doing an externship, by going to an open house, that's how you really meet people and the firms and understand where you want to be. We can all sit up here and say, this is what we do, this is what, but it's also up to you guys to do that a little bit of homework and figure out what that right fit. So.
Yeah. Show of hands, which firms do audit? Which firms do tax?
Well.
Yeah. So, right. So it's exactly. I mean, you do both, right? Everyone does both, and so it's super important to figure out where you're going to be happy, what kind of culture you want, because as Laura said, you're going to do the same sort of work everywhere, but where are you going to feel like you're going to grow the most? So that's an excellent point. Thank you, Laura. So Emily, so you are with Markham, and which is pretty big, right? So I started off my career with a then Big Six firm, and 25,000 professionals, and every office was different. And we were headquartered in Chicago, and the fiats came down from Chicago. And so working for a larger firm like this that's headquartered in New York, right? How does that impact the Maine working environment? How Maine is your office, and how much comes from away?
Yeah, so for us, my office was actually, they were an independent firm that merged with Markham, and we have definitely still kept that smaller team structure. Most of the work that I do is for people in the Portland office, but then there's also opportunities. I've done some work for people in our Boston office, in our Hartford office. I've met people from the California and Texas offices. So I love the blend of most of the clients I work on are small business owners, they have real estate, they're in healthcare. So I do a lot of work with people right here in Maine, but then there's also great opportunities if you want to try your hand at working on a bigger client, on a bigger return, or if we have like an international tax question, we have a list of international tax experts. So I don't need to know all the information. I know who to go to. I can get information about different specialized areas. So far as the actual work that I do, primarily it's for people in my office that I see every day. There are some rules and some things that are coming down from our corporate office, but for the most part, every office is unique and they all have their own culture, their own way of doing things, and you really just get to know the people on your team in your specific office.
And a quick follow-up, and I asked Jill the same sort of question. Travel, if you go to Markham, is there an expectation that you're going to be traveling to other offices, or the ability to travel to other offices, or are you basically in Portland and the general area?
Yeah, most of us, especially right now obviously, but most of us do stick in our individual offices. We sometimes will travel for training. So when I came on staff in 2019, I was able to go to a new hire training down in Fort Lauderdale. We have an office down there. So I was able to travel down there. Some of my colleagues have gone to the New York office for different training. Every 18 months, kind of the different regional offices will get together. So I went down to the Providence office in 2019 and got to meet a lot of the people from some of the other New England offices, but primarily the work that we do is for whatever office that you're physically located in.
Perfect, thank you. And Joel, so a similar question that I hadn't realized that it was a buyout, but that's where the main office for Mac Page ended up in Whippley, right? It was Mac Page, and then Whippley bought it out. And so same sort of question. What's it like having this external thing? What kind of interaction do you have with the other offices, and do you have the opportunity to travel if that's the kind of thing that one of our students wants to do, work here, but also potentially go to other offices?
So the short answer for can you travel is yes. The longer answer is, and this is before the apocalypse, so let me disclaim that right up front, is all the interns from all the different offices across the entire United States would be meeting at Minneapolis for a week of training, networking, some light partying and drinking and stuff too.
In Minneapolis.
Yeah, in Minneapolis in January, so nothing else to do. And then I'm on the sort of vanilla tax side. I just do regular compliance, and I've gone to Minneapolis again for more training. But in terms of working with other offices and opportunity for travel, it really depends on the type of group that you're a part of. So for instance, the folks who do the research and development tax credits, they're traveling all over the country because they need to be able to see the manufacturing facilities and whatnot that they're going to be doing the R&D credit for. We have other teams that travel extensively, whereas I work in state and local tax. I do work for tons of other markets, but I don't travel to the other markets.
Cool, thank you.
There's a mix.
Okay, so Heather is our only non-practicing public accountant on the panel, and it's great to have you here. So you are working for the state of Maine, but you started out as a CPA, right?
Still am.
Well, yes. Oh, yes, of course. Maintain the credential. So for the students who are thinking about, maybe I don't want to be an auditor for the rest of my life, or maybe I don't want to do tax. What is it about having gotten the experience in public accounting, gotten the public accounting credential, that you have been able to leverage to your future career?
There are a few things. I think the word I would start with is credibility. Also respect. The licensing process is rigorous. It takes a couple of years of experience. It takes passing the exam. And accomplishing all of that gives you an automatic, assumed level of knowledge and professionalism that has been, it opens doors. I'll also say that my experience working at a public firm was, I was fortunate. My choice was to work for a smaller level firm. So I got to work on a lot of different things. I started out doing both audit and tax. I did a lot of not-for-profit, some governmental auditing. I did quite a bit of tax as well. But what I decided, and this is why I stopped working in public, is a lot of that work is looking backwards. If you're preparing a tax return, or if you're conducting an audit, you're reviewing what happened over the past year. And what I wanted to do was affect what was going to happen in the future. To make decisions about the direction of a company or an organization, which is what I have been fortunate enough to achieve. So working in government, I've had the opportunity to work on a lot of the federal funding that's come from the COVID relief funds, and figuring out how do we get that out and into the hands of the people who need it. You know, whether that's business relief grants, whether it's rental assistance. These are the sorts of things that happen every day in a government type position. Excuse me. And the finance people who work supporting that get to play a role in it, doing forecasts, working with the legislature, helping the agencies figure out how to comply with all of the federal regulations, of which there are many and they're frequently changing, especially lately. It's very rewarding work, and that's why I'm glad that I work for the state.
Thank you. And as I mentioned, Heather also is here representing the Maine CPA Society, and of which I'm also on the board and a member. And I believe that students have free membership.
That's what I was going to say, yes.
And so it's worth getting involved. Do you want to share some more about that?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, as he mentioned, student membership is free. There is support and opportunities abounding. You can serve on some of the committees that work with the board. There are networking events, get to meet people, get some experience. There are also discounted continuing education especially for CPA prep. So there are 3 or 4 companies, I think, that the Maine Society of CPA partners with in order to provide discounted courses to students. So I would encourage all of you, if you have any interest in becoming a CPA, to join the Maine CPA Society.
Yeah. And so these sorts of organizations, no matter where you are, if you're not from Maine, if you happen to be an out-of-state student, getting involved with these sorts of organizations, wherever you are, is super important. They do really important work in terms of lobbying on behalf of the industry, connections, facilitating these sorts of events as well. So it's definitely something worth being involved in. So our last question is going to be for Tim from RKO, and as it happens, I've got the same sort of question. I thought I was going to have 2 people answering each of these questions about tax and audit, but you have also made a career of doing audit. Can you share your experiences as well as to what it is that makes you excited about doing the audit side of the shop?
Sure. So originally, I actually graduated UMaine in '05 with a finance degree, thinking I was going to be doing portfolio analysis and things like that, because I really actually enjoy looking backwards and doing that type of analysis and figuring things out. I like the puzzle work of that, because it does allow us to predict things forward. And so auditing is a lot like that. You're looking backwards, doing a lot of analysis, and to also echo a lot of what the other people said here is that you're interacting with people on a daily basis. In auditing, at least for our firm, we're still going out and meeting with people. We're going to their offices. They're setting us up in their conference room. We're discussing the year with them. And then we take that narrative story that they tell us, and then we look at the balance sheet, the income statement, and we see if it all lines up. We look at the trends. We do the analysis. And for me, that kind of like detective work and that piecing together the puzzle is what I really find rewarding, because sometimes my coworkers will hear me yell across the room like, aha, I found something. I figured it out. So that's the kind of thing that kind of gets me excited. I love traveling to the client sites and getting out of my office. I think if I'm in the same office every day, I get kind of like stuffed up. So I do enjoy traveling. We travel only within the state. We don't travel anywhere out of state. So it's all local travel. We don't stay overnight anywhere too much. So that type of stuff is really rewarding to me, and I find it very intriguing, even after 14 years.
For those of you who've taken 302, that aha moment he's talking about is when you get your cash flow to roll. And you're like, oh my God, nailed it. So, okay, well, great job. 3 minutes each. So we can get done in about 30 minutes or so, and we are still running about 13 minutes ahead of schedule, so well done, panel. So
It was all you, Dave.
it was honestly, like, meds are completely off board now, so this is why I'm kind of woo, and edit that out as well. So let's go ahead then and let's move to this interactive portion. Please, there are refreshments out there out on the patio. Each of the organizations have got a little table set up, and students, go ahead and mingle around, talk to some folks. This is a great opportunity to start to get to know these folks, because these are the folks who are going to be looking to hire people this year, next year, the next year. And so start pressing the flesh, or at least fist pumping. Thank you very much to our panel. Thank you very much, Hannah. Are we, Taylor, we good?